Welcome to No Place Like Home, the radio show, coming to you on WRXB 1590 AM, 96.5 FM, and Pinellas County Connection TV. This program is presented to you as an opportunity to hear information that can help you fulfill the dream of owning your very own home. We also share information about upcoming special events and programs to help you enjoy the good life in Pinellas County, as well as other items of interest. The sponsor of this program is the Housing Finance Authority of Pinellas County, which offers the First-Time Homebuyers Program. I'm Carmen Lemberg, your host for today's show. My co-host Julian couldn't be here today, and I'm wishing him well and missing him very much. Today we'll be talking about the event of the year, and one that is near and dear to our hearts at the Housing Finance Authority, the Hope Expo. This is a don't-miss event if you're thinking about buying a home. We will be joined by two members of the organizing committee who are presenting home ownership opportunities for people everywhere, a.k.a. the Hope Expo. Coming up, Jeanette Hackett and Van Dennis will provide us with all the details. And before we introduce Jeanette and Van, I've got a message from our sponsor, the Housing Finance Authority. The Housing Finance Authority of Pinellas County is offering the First-Time Homebuyers Program, your key to home ownership, helping people in Pinellas, Pasco, and Polk counties make their dreams of home ownership a reality. The First-Time Homebuyers Program is for individuals who have never owned a home, have not owned a home in the last 3 years, or veterans. The HFA, working through a specialized group of lenders, offers a low rate on its 30-year fixed-rate mortgage, and we can help you with down payment and closing costs as well. We are pleased to announce that the Housing Floridians program is open now for those whose incomes are less than 80% of the area median income. We have a special partner in this program, Center State Bank, who will provide a grant equal to 50% of our down payment assistance. To get your key to home ownership, visit www.pinellascounty.org/HFA as in Housing Finance Authority. For more information or comments about the show, email us at newhome@pinellashfa.com. Now, it's my pleasure to introduce today's guest. To learn more about the Hope Expo, Jeanette Hackett, Vice President, Mortgage Division of BB&T Home Mortgage. She's been lending for 38 years, specializing in first-time home buyers. She's new with BB&T Home Mortgage, who approached her for her expertise in down payment assistance programs in the state of Florida. I've worked with Jeanette for a really long time, and it's just a pleasure to have you on the show. She currently is sitting on the board of the Hope Expo as secretary. Van Dennis, she works for a wonderful agency, Clearwater Neighborhood Housing Services, as the senior housing coordinator/credit counselor. In the 90s, she worked for the agency, left for a while, and came back 3 years ago, and she's very excited to be back at this agency. Thank you so much for being with us today, you guys. I really appreciate it. I know it's a fun time for you to be here and exciting to be involved in the Hope Expo. So, Jeanette, give us a brief overview of what the Hope Expo is and when is it coming?
It's coming June 10th, and it is a large event where about 380 people will be there to obtain their first-time homebuyer certificate, which is necessary to obtain the first-time homebuyers grants and through the state and through the local cities and counties.
And grants and loans.
And loans, yes.
Wonderful, wonderful. So is there a cost to attend this?
No, it's free.
To anybody?
To anyone.
So people can sign up for the class and come, or they can even just come to the expo part, right?
Yes, they can. We're encouraging pre-registration.
Perfect.
And they can do that through the link through Facebook and
HopeExpo.org as well, right?
HopeExpo.org, correct.
Perfect. Now, it's a full day. Can participants bring their lunches, or what happens with that?
Lunch is being subsidized, so a boxed lunch will be available. It's got a sandwich, a cookie, chips, soda, and we do that every year, and it's very good.
It is. I can attest to that, having been going for several years myself. What about people with children?
It's a full day, and there is no daycare for children, so we encourage that you
make other arrangements.
Sure,
no problem. So Van, tell us about the kinds of information that folks will receive at the expo.
The information that everyone will receive at the expo will be great information for them to move forward into the home buying process. They'll be provided with the home buyer education class, where they'll receive their certificate at the end. Also, there'll be many vendors there to provide them with information on the services that they provide.
So speaking of that, tell us some about the exhibitors you're going to have there. Who can we expect to see there this year?
We have lots of exhibitors. We're looking to have quite a few banks, nonprofits such as Tampa Bay CDC, Clearwater Neighborhood Housing Services. So we're looking forward to all of the vendors that are coming to set up and provide information to
Me too.
our clients. Yes.
It'll be around
That's right.
34.
Yes,
And I think what we're going to see some realtors, some
Yes,
title companies,
Yes.
all sorts of the type of people that these new home buyers can expect to encounter during the process.
Yes, and while they're in the class, the information will be provided to them on these different areas, because it is a process. Purchasing a home is can be tedious, but also fun, as long as you are given the correct information and you really learn about what it is to purchase a home. It makes the transition easy for the potential home buyers.
Awesome. So how much is the class, and do people need to register in advance?
Class is free,
Class is free.
and we encourage
We
pre-registration.
do encourage pre-registration.
All right.
That makes it a lot easier for us. So
You can
please,
manage numbers, because the
yes.
classroom size is limited, if I remember right.
Yes, it is limited, so we do ask that you pre-register. That way you're assured a seat in the class.
Perfect. Now you're doing English and Spanish again this year as well?
Yes.
Wonderful. So Jeanette, participants in the class will receive the certificate, which we already talked about. And what is the importance of this certificate?
Like I said, the certificate is necessary to obtain the special programs that are available out there, as well as the information that's provided during the course in receiving the certificate. I mean, you learn how to, the importance of picking the right person to work with, budgeting for the savings, for the down payment for the home that you're purchasing, as well as budgeting for the expenses that come with the buying of a home.
And the
You no longer have a landlord to call when
That's
you break when
right.
something breaks.
That's the biggest
So-
difference I think some people don't understand is
Exactly.
when you own your home, you are responsible. I remember when I first got into these types of programs, help somebody get their own home, and about 2 months later I get a phone call. Well, my water heater broke. Will you come and fix it? And I was like, no, ma'am, I'm so sorry, but that's your job now. You own the home. And she was just beside herself. And I said, well, remember in the class they talked about that. Oh, yeah, we did talk about that. I forgot. And it's just,
It's a lot of information in an 8-hour period of time.
it is.
And you may not grasp everything at that during that 8 hours, but when something comes up, it sparks a memory, and that's the most important thing, that you say, oh yeah, I did learn that, and this is what I'm taking away from it. And the handouts that you receive during the class also is something to reference back to also.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah. And, you know, another thing that I always tell people is these classes can be taken online, but when you are sitting in a room of people who are just like yourself, this is your first time, you don't even know what questions to ask, because if you don't know about something, how do you know what to ask?
Exactly.
So I tell them that all of these people think of different things to ask, things you never may have thought of, and thereby making you learn more. And they think about that for a minute and go, well, you're right, because I have no clue where to start. I don't know what to do or anything. I said, see? And if you're full of a room of people just like you, every time someone feeds you some information, you'll be good to go.
And take notes.
take lots of notes. We should bring something to write on and something to write with. That would be good too.
We also encourage, if you have questions prior to coming to the event, write those questions down so that you're prepared to ask them. That way, if there's something that you really need to know or you didn't hear, you could ask the question, and those questions will be answered for you.
That is a good point.
And the great thing about having the vendors around is that if you get nervous in the class or something, you can always walk up to one of the vendors and say, listen, this is a question, I felt silly, but there's no silly question.
There isn't.
You know, and you can ask multiple vendors the same question to see what their response is, and hopefully get a better understanding.
I know that happens a lot to me. I mean, I usually lose my voice by noon because I've already talked so much by noon. You know, I have no voice left. I always bring my throat drops, but I'm done by noon. So the afternoon people are like, "What are you saying?" I don't know.
Yeah.
So in addition to being informational, the other nice thing about this event is we make it a little bit of fun. There's prizes and things that can be won. Tell us a little bit about that.
There are lots and lots of prizes. There'll be giveaways throughout the day, and of course there's the big grand prize at the very end. That's sponsored by BB&T, and we want everyone to stay, participate, have a good time, visit the vendors, and like we've said before, ask the questions that you have so that you'll have a great understanding of that process that you're about to begin. Purchasing a home is a big joy, and it shouldn't be all tedious for the individual. It should be a fun and exciting event, because that's one of your big life
Yes, it is.
tasks that you do it. So we just say, come in, have a good time, visit the vendors, you get your card stamped, you can always win one of those door prizes. So we want to make it not only just informational, but also fun, so that you can take something home. Because if it's fun, you have a better
Retention. Yeah.
of that information. So.
Exactly. I agree. I think that's awesome. Now, Jeanette, you've been in the lending business for a number of years and have certainly seen a lot of changes. What can today's home buyers expect when they meet with a mortgage lender?
Well, there's a lot more information now, and lending has changed so much.
Yes, it is.
We've become very intrusive
That's a good
and
word.
document heavy. So they'll want to know the trail of the money coming into the transaction. They'll be reviewing bank accounts. They'll need, most cases, 3 years tax returns. In some city-county programs, they'll be looking for 6 months bank statements. So it's good now to have all that information together and put together what I call a mortgage resume. It's kind of just a resume of your 24 months residence history, including landlord information, 24 months work history, your asset information. If you have a 401k, inquire what you have in there. And if you have the ability to draw any funds out to help you with down payment, gifts are acceptable. Get everything in line so that you have your folder together, so that you're not all of a sudden in contract and you're grasping for things, calling the IRS, trying to get tax transcripts and such. So it's always good to have the information before in a mortgage folder.
Well, and that's what I used to tell people. I had my mortgage company for several years, and I used to tell them, beforehand, I say, before we meet for the first time, here's your list of laundry things I want you to bring with you, and have this all put together. And as we go through this process, keep it updated, because until you find a house, this is a rolling 3 months.
Yeah.
So if it takes you 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, we have to keep all this information current and up to date. And I used to feel sorry for people kind of looking at you with that big eyes, going, "What? Keep what?" But that's what this class is going to help teach them.
And another thing is, if you do have money at the house, because some people save money differently, but if you have cash and you're looking to buy a home in the next 6 months to a year, deposit it into the bank, because for these programs, cash is
Doesn't
not
work.
acceptable, because if you can't track where the money came from, then you can't use it in the transaction. So you're trusting the banking in the system, so you need to put the money in the bank.
Yep, and you cannot bring cash to the closing table either for any
No.
additional cash. It's got to be a cashier's check.
Right.
Correct.
Yep. So Van, in some cases, folks need a little help with budgeting. Does the homebuyer education class offer tips on preparing and living within a budget?
Yes, it does. And that's one of the big things that I'm really glad is included, because budgeting is a very big part of purchasing a home. You need to know how, where, when things need to be paid, and I always tell people when I'm doing the counseling, you need to have an account for your, what I call your rainy day needs. You also need to have an account for your everyday maintenance, or you never know when something's going to break in your home. So you should have those accounts set up so that you're not struggling if the water heater breaks, or God forbid the AC goes out, because that's not a $100 job. We're talking thousands.
Yep.
So it's good to start even before you begin the process. Put those dollars away, because you're definitely going to need them.
Yeah, I try to make it fun. I call
yes.
that household fun my bad money, MADD.
Yes. yes. So that is a significant part of the course. So people can definitely take home with them some tips on what to do to budget and prepare for home ownership.
That is such a good point. The budgeting is huge. And now, Jeanette, close your ears when I say this, but I always tell people, just because the lender approves you for X amount of home, remember two things. While your payment stays fixed, your escrows for insurance and taxes will always increase.
Yes.
So every year, your entire payment that you're paying will go up. So make sure you have that budgeted, because as we've seen over the past 8 to 10 years, our incomes are not always going up every year. So
No, but your taxes and insurance is.
yes, they are. They are.
And it's always good to have that discussion, with your lender.
Yes.
And I know you actually do very well with that when you're talking to your people. I'm just teasing you, Jeanette. So, Van, we all know how important good credit is when buying a home, or for anything for that matter. So what advice do you have for people who have had some credit challenges, and how can Clearwater Neighborhood Housing Services help?
Clearwater Neighborhood Housing Services has a housing counseling program, and we can assist with your budget. And if you are credit challenged, we definitely can sit down with you, review your credit, and give you some tips and options on how to fix those issues. I like to tell people, yes, you may have bad credit today, but if you work hard and if you stay diligent to the task and your dream, you can fix those issues and purchase a home at some point.
And now you'll work side by side with them right through the whole process, right?
Yes, I do.
And how much do you charge them for this service?
For a single person, $25, and that's just one fee if I have to see you one time or 50 times.
And isn't that more just to pull the credit?
That is just for pulling the credit.
So the actual counseling and the help through the process is free?
Yes, it is. And if you're a couple, we charge $35. So we try to keep it at a minimal cost, because again, that's a dollar item you got to spend, and we want to teach you how to save your money and definitely start putting aside your dollars for purchasing your home. That is the American dream. And if you are credit challenged, definitely give us a call and let us help you work through it, because home ownership is possible for everyone that wants to purchase a home and have the mindset to do what it takes to get to that point.
That's right, that is. Now, another question for you, Jeanette. What if somebody doesn't have a credit history? What do we do with them?
Well, that's one thing that they'll learn in the class. How to build a credit history.
And
how to
do
build
it
one
right.
smartly. Yes.
Smartly, that's the
Yes.
word. So what's the rule of thumb in determining how much of a home you can afford?
Well, debt to income is how much income that you have coming into the house versus how much you're paying out in debts. Basically, they want you to have, some of the programs are different. The state programs want you to have 45%, no more than 45% of your obligations out towards house, which includes principal, interest, taxes, insurance, and mortgage insurance, as well as any other debts that you have out there. So although it's good to have a well-rounded credit history. If you're looking to buy a house, don't buy a car, because you'll have an opportunity to buy a car in the future, but concentrate on the focus of buying a house first. There have been instances where customers have bought a car during the process, and it cut back on the house that they could afford. So the other good thing is, during these courses, they do show you how to determine on a budget how much you can afford.
Good.
But the biggest thing I always talk to my customers about is, in your mind, how much do you not want to pay, any more than what dollar amount for a mortgage payment? Because although we're looking at paper and computer, we're not looking at soccer, going out to dinner, going to the movies, being able to live.
Yeah, don't make yourself house poor.
Yeah, don't
Right.
make yourself house poor, because then you'll be
miserable.
and the house won't be a happy place.
That's
Right.
right. We got to have the house a happy place. That's the most
Yes.
important thing.
And
So,
you definitely want to make sure that you're not house poor, because, like you say, you have to live. And when you go above your means, you end up into that place where we don't like to talk about much, and that's foreclosure.
yeah.
Right.
So purchase a house that's within your means, and you're going to love being there, not hate, oh my gosh, I've just bought a home that I can't afford.
That's it, exactly. There's nothing worse than finding it, getting it, and then having to walk away from it.
Exactly.
That's not worth it. That's not worth it at all. So, what advice would you two have for someone who's considering home ownership today that maybe we haven't touched on yet?
Be aware of the programs that are out there, such as the First Time Home Buyers event, Clearwater Neighborhood Housing, Housing Finance Authority, and know that we are all here to help you reach that dream. An old manager of mine told me one day to take the dream and focus on a picture. Take a picture of a house and put it in the center portion of the house, and that could be everyone in the house's focus, so that when you're thinking about maybe doing something extra, and say, well, no, let's not do that, let's put it into the house fund. Saving for the house is just so big of a dream.
Yes, it is.
And it's such a good feeling when you move in there and you're not worried about putting a nail in the wall.
Well, that's it. And speaking of that focus and affording it, I always tell people, too, that even though you might get help through programs such as ours for the down payment and closing costs, moving's expensive. So you still have to make sure you have some money in savings. Plus, everybody wants to buy new things for the new house.
Yeah.
And so that comes under that budgeting thing. There's a lot to think about, and I think people a lot of times just don't even think about that when they're moving from an apartment to an apartment, and how extra expensive even just that is.
Yes.
It's
They need to remember that houses evolve.
Right.
I couldn't tell. Well, we did our kitchen 15 years ago, and we're about ready to do the kitchen again, because our taste has changed and the appliances need to be, replaced and everything. So don't try to do everything at once.
No.
After you purchase, you've got your budgeting down when you're trying to purchase. So after you purchase, keep that budgeting in place. Learn how to do certain things yourself. Home Depot has, and Lowe's have different
do-it-yourself classes.
do-it-yourself classes. Going to these programs and these classes over the years, I've learned that there are companies out there that'll teach you how to put on a metal roof. I didn't know that.
Right.
But there's so much takeaway from these classes.
Oh, yeah.
And the more and more that I go to them through the years, the more I take back.
Exactly.
Yes.
So I think it's fabulous, and they don't go away after you buy. There's always somebody that you can call and ask a question to.
Yes.
I always tease my husband for years and years and years, and we've called our houses forever hobby huts, because we always are doing something to them. I don't care whether it's the yard or the inside or whatever. It's never ending.
Right.
And people laugh at me sometimes, because for several years now we've kind of forgone vacations, because we did have a lot we wanted to finish in the house. But now when I go home at night and I walk around the house and the yard, it's like this was worth it.
Yes.
This is really worth it. And just here we're going on vacation, so
Yay.
so that's kind of exciting. So one more time, I want to just give out all the contact information for the Hope Expo. You mentioned something about Facebook also?
Yes. Our Hope Expo Facebook page is accessible. If you just type in Hope Expo, it'll come up, and it's loaded with information. Also, we have our website, which is hopeexpo.org, and you can also register on the website, and you gain a lot of information prior to coming to the event. And check out both the Facebook page and our website. You won't be disappointed.
Wonderful, wonderful.
And again, we encourage pre-registration because
Well,
there's
you
only
need to
so
know-
much room.
Well, there's only so much room, and you need to know how many. I mean, people have no idea how much information they're going to be getting,
Right.
not only just in this class, but also from the vendors.
Exactly.
So you guys need to make sure, from the organizing committee standpoint, that you have enough supplies on hand to give everybody. And
Yes.
I know as a vendor myself who's going to be there, I'm always begging you guys near the end. Okay, we're running full classes on both. I want to make sure I've got enough stuff there myself for people, and that's kind of a big thing. So,
Yes.
and we've always had a full house over the years. Always. I don't think we've ever not filled that place up.
Right.
It's such a. I just love this event. I've been going to it now. I want to say probably close to 8, maybe 9 years. I can't remember. It's been a long time.
Wow.
And so when I first started with the county, that's the first time I went. So it's fun.
It is fun, and it's a great event. So we tell everybody right now, mark your calendar. Saturday, June 10th, 2017. Please come and visit us, and come expecting to receive some great information so that we can help you reach your dream of purchasing that new home.
And ask a lot of questions.
Yes.
Think of everything you don't know about owning a home and write it down
write
and
it
bring it,
down.
because there will be somebody there who can answer your question.
That's
Guaranteed.
That is a guarantee, yes.
All right. Well, we only have a couple minutes left to wrap up today's show, and I'd like to thank our guest, Jeanette Hackett with BB&T, and Van Dennis with Clearwater Neighborhood Housing Services, Pinellas County Communications Department, and, of course, WRXB 1590 AM, 96.5 FM. We look forward to having you join us next month, and if you missed any part of this show or would like to view past shows, check out our website or catch us on YouTube. I'm Carmen Lemberg. Thanks for tuning in, and remember, make it a great day.